haven't read the book myself. I've seen some press articles about it. I actually wrote about that incident in my own book as well. We were in Hanoi with President Trump for the second meeting between Trump and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. And as I recall, it was late in the evening when we heard from Washington that there had been military contact between forces of India and those of Pakistan, and that there was concern that was being expressed, I think, from the Pakistani side to the U.S. military that this could escalate, and they were quite worried about what India was going to do and whether the conflict would become nuclear. So Mike Pompeo and I were basically in the presidential quarters in the hotel where we were all staying, and we got on the phone. My recollection was with Ajit Doval, who was then my opposite number on the Indian side. And we wanted to hear what the Indian side of all this was. And Ajit Doval, as always, was right on top of the circumstances. He explained what was going on. He said he felt that India had operated in self-defense. And we, both Pompeo and I, said we agreed India obviously had a right to self-defense. And we urged that he be prudent, and that we were going to tell the Pakistani side to be prudent as well. And I think as the night wore on and then into the succeeding day, tensions began to subside. And I think what we saw was that India had acted in self-defense and had behaved responsibly. Well, on specifics, to the extent I remember them, they're in my book. But I think he described what India had perceived had happened from the Pakistani side, a terrorist attack, is my recollection, and that India had gone after the base where they thought the terrorist attack had originated. And as I say, I don't think Pompeo and I had any disagreement that it was a legitimate self-defense response. But we did say, in light of the circumstances, in light of the history, that it was important not to let this escalate, and that we hope that the Indian side would take that into account. And as I say, I think the events over the next day or two showed tension subsiding and the India side behaving responsibility, and Pakistan committing, again, not to allow terrorist attacks from its territory. Well, I don't think that evening, as I recall, Pompeo or I spoke to anybody on the Pakistani side. I think there had been communication. I think State Department officials, perhaps at the ambassadorial level in Islamabad, were in touch with Pakistani officials, and I think our military was as well. But from my side, I couldn't tell you what every element of the State Department was doing, but from my side, the main thing was to be in touch with Ajit Doval, which I've just described.